What do tariff threats mean for everyday Americans? This presentation will examine the impact of tariff threats on everyday Americans, exploring how these measures affect consumer prices, key industries, household budgets, and the overall economy. Overview of current trade tensions. U.S.-China trade war. The U.S.-China trade war, beginning in 2018, has involved imposing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of goods traded between the two countries. This has led to increased prices for consumers and uncertainty for businesses. Other trade disputes. The U.S. is also engaged in trade disputes with other countries, such as the European Union, Mexico, and Canada. These disputes often involve tariffs on specific goods, which can impact both consumers and producers. How tariffs impact consumer prices. 15% increased costs. Tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods, which are then passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. The U.S. Trade Representative estimates that tariffs on goods from China have increased the average U.S. households' annual spending by $830. $830 inflationary pressure. Increased tariffs contribute to inflationary pressure in the economy, as businesses are forced to raise prices to maintain profitability. This erodes the purchasing power of consumers, especially those with fixed incomes. Impact on key industries and jobs. Manufacturing. Industries that rely heavily on imported components or materials, such as manufacturing, face higher input costs due to tariffs. This can make them less competitive globally, potentially leading to job losses. Agriculture. The agricultural sector is significantly impacted by retaliatory tariffs imposed by trading partners. For example, Chinese tariffs on U.S. soybeans have hurt American farmers, leading to lower prices and reduced income. Retail. Retailers often absorb some of the cost increase from tariffs, but they also pass on a portion to consumers. This can lead to higher prices for consumers, potentially impacting sales and ultimately affecting retail jobs. Changes in household budgets. Reduced spending power. Higher prices for everyday goods and services reduce consumers' disposable income, forcing them to make difficult choices about how to allocate their budgets. Shifting consumption patterns. Consumers may adjust their spending habits to compensate for higher prices, choosing cheaper alternatives or reducing their overall consumption, impacting businesses across various sectors. Potential retaliatory tariff from trading partners. Tit for tat. When one country imposes tariffs, its trading partners may retaliate by imposing tariffs on goods from the first country. This can escalate the conflict and lead to a cycle of trade restrictions. Global impact. Retaliatory tariffs can disrupt global supply chains and hinder international trade, impacting businesses and consumers worldwide. This can also lead to economic uncertainty and slow global economic growth. Long-term effects on the U.S. economy. Reduced economic growth. Tariffs can lead to reduced economic growth by increasing costs for businesses, reducing consumer spending, and discouraging investment. This can result in lower job creation and slower overall economic development. Inflation. Higher tariffs contribute to inflation, eroding the purchasing power of consumers and making it more difficult for businesses to plan for the future. This can lead to a decline in consumer confidence and a slowdown in the economy. Strategies for individuals to mitigate impacts. Budgeting. Carefully track expenses and prioritize essential needs to manage finances during rising prices. Price comparisons. Compare prices across retailers and online platforms to find the best deals and avoid inflated tariff-driven costs. Alternative purchases. Explore domestic alternatives to imported goods for potential cost savings during economic uncertainties. Conclusion and key takeaways. Economic trade-offs. Tariff threats create complex economic trade-offs between short-term protectionism and long-term stability. Industry impact. Key industries and job markets face significant challenges from ongoing trade tensions and protective measures. Consumer adaptation. Consumers and businesses must develop strategic approaches to mitigate negative economic impacts of tariffs. Disclaimer: content generated by artificial intelligence is primarily a source of entertainment and creative engagement. It is designed to evoke interest and amusement rather than to provide authoritative information or professional advice. Thank you for watching. If you have already watched this far, please give us thumbs up. Show your appreciation by giving us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest accounting and finance tips with AI